Hello and welcome to this week's Akashic Swan Insights, November 15th through the 21st, 2021. Coming very close to the end of the year. And I'm using the illuminating journey cards that were created by myself with the guidance of the Akashic Records. I'm Jen Duchenne of jenduchenne.com and Akashic Swan Guidance. So this week we have lots of shakes and movement going on. We have a massive lunar eclipse, full moon on the 19th. This is one of the massive pieces that are breaking away or destroying foundational pieces of the system we have assumed to be the way it is. So we will experience shocks, revelations, movement, just an explosion of energy, feelings, experiences. And so just be aware, take care of yourself, because whether physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, any of those shakes and shifts that shock us into another level of awareness, it can take its toll. So just be very aware, gentle with yourself, gentle with others. Our first response may be anger, frustration, and yet we need to hold ourselves in love so that we can move through this space, through this time that we're experiencing. So let's see what the cards have to say. First card, Soul Portal 33, Master Number. So 33 connects us to our divine light, to the Christ consciousness within us, the awareness of being connected to Source and to our soul. So the essence of us. 33 also speaks to the 33 vertebrae in our spines. So this is about standing tall, standing upright, having a backbone. And we are the only species, I believe, that stands and walks upright all the time. So this is kind of a reminder of the essence of what are we learning, what are we absorbing about being, the wisdom of being upright and holding ourselves, tall, as opposed to being bent over, feeling not enough, a burden, somehow not enough because of something we've heard, something we were told, something we've absorbed, and instead being upright, being connected very clearly, openly to Source and to the earth. So accepting that energy of that. What else is interesting is in this figure here, in this portal, there is this kind of circular spiral, that this place that allows us to go down and to go through. So it's showing me that we are in the motion of being reformed, reborn, remade. And the figure, which can be you, it can be a teacher, a guide in your life, it can be an experience you're having or a calling you're being called to. It can show up in different ways. So in this case, the figure is calling you to step into this spiral of energy, into this place of kind of rejuggling the walls of light, juggling or thinking lightly about what are you engaged in, even the darker things that might be drawing you. What is the way to move through this from that place of being upright? It connects us to the staff and the snake, which is within here, which is again that reminder of the being and doing, the intuiting and the allowing, and then the creating from that place. So really being in tune with the choices we make, the responses we have. And if you can see around, there are 4 quadrants here that speak of different places, the different things we can call in. All is available, but what are we being drawn to? What is true to our soul? What will help us stand upright, knowing that we are that divine link and we are seeing all the things we need to see. So we don't need to look down or hide from what is showing up. We need to, see it, know it. So there's no need to fool ourselves or to take on burdens that aren't ours. The figure itself is very joyful. This is a very joyful expansion, even though it may feel less joyful than we would like. But then again, this is all about that seeing things from the viewpoint of being fully upright, fully extended in the being of who we are. Second card. So isn't that very interesting? We have another master card, master number. So 33, master number, and then 22. What's also interesting is this here, this energy of green, of rebirthing, of tapping into the heart, coming through. So it's like we're being called beyond the bridge into the portal to take our journey upward. So this is like we're being called from distraction, perhaps paying attention or giving our attention to things that maybe stopped us from feeling upright or seeing what we need to see, into the awareness of, I need to go where I'm called. I need to feel that I'm doing something for my soul, that I'm growing my soul, I'm expanding my experience. And as you can see, all of the paths are going upwards. So this expansion of moving through, healing the disconnection by following something that is true. They all go upward because there is a transition or an experience we have to learn in order to move to the next level. So this is what this is about. What is the thing you're being called to? Is it to behave differently in a certain way? Is it to stop doing certain things? Is it to do things, new things? Is it to go on a retreat? Is it truly to change the way you live your life? So whatever that is, honor that calling that is now kind of opening in the middle of places where we are thrown off course, where we're shown shockingly that the thing we trusted, believed in, knew to be true is no longer there or no longer true. Then we want to strengthen that energy inside of us so that no matter what happens, we can connect to ourselves, the divine, the earth, and each other. The doves of peace are catching my eye, as well as just want to share that the 22 is the master number. As I said, this is the master number of design, in the sense that we design the life we want to live. We design the thing we want to create before we actually create it. So it's taking that step back, taking that journey to the higher plane, to the inward energy of the earth, to really understand who we are, to really allow ourselves to speak from that place, to be here, right, within this. And the 22 is also about seeing what there is. So we're not pretending something doesn't exist. We're relating to things from that place of our truth, who we are. And so what does this mean if I'm having this experience? Or what am I choosing to do? How am I choosing to move through it? And make the choices that allow me to create that life, that thing I'm building. So it's before the foundation, but then the foundation. It's laying down new foundations. I mentioned old foundations are breaking apart. So we are in the process of laying a new system, a new grid down for what will come. This also speaks to peace, the peace within us that we find when we relate to ourselves and to the world outside from a place of love, from a place of design, not from a place of being controlled or feeling manipulated or thrown off course. So what will bring us back into that alignment so we can see what is happening, but we're not controlled by it. We're choosing our path. Again, choosing the path, the way we are going to travel. And the third and final card, so that's very interesting. I was wondering if we would have another master number. That we have the 21. And this speaks to the energy of our century. We are in the 21st century. 21 speaks to the truth. The truth will set you free. And so this is calling us to our greater freedom, to our greater truth. We have freedom when we accept that, you know, everyone will make their own choices, and then we'll decide how we'll respond to those choices, whether we'll go along, whether we'll say no, whether we'll come in with an option that we can perhaps connect through, or etc. And this also speaks to being in that cave, in that place. Like if you think about, here I am, I'm taking that journey to know myself, then it's that deeper awareness of knowingness where I'm in that place of contemplation, of awareness of who I am. And in that place, I now can light my light. I can send the message out into the world. And here we have the figures of flight, of taking flight, taking our message out to really expand. There's also a sense of safety in here because we have our connection and our place. We don't need to be out in the fray. We need to be centered in who we are, and then from that place we can speak, we can enjoy, we can contribute. There's a very sacred, magical energy here in this card that allows us to truly magnify the essence of who we are. And it feels very much like the divine, the energy of the divine, source, God, whatever your name is carrying not only our message out, but also with us. Like we are being held in divine light and seeing the energies of the light and dark as qualities of creation, not as something to fear. But when we know who we are, the material we have that we are and the material out in the world that we work with all shifts. So very powerful to think about that. And I might have mentioned that as we prepare in these last 6 weeks, as we're going towards the end of 2021, we're moving into articulating a different type of devotion, the practice of truly being devoted to the idea of who we are, to what we want to create, to finding the peace and the beauty in those actions, in the being of who we are, taking action from that place, relating to the world from that place. So this is that warm-up towards becoming devotional in our practice of how we live our lives, how we connect to our soul, how we connect to each other. A very sacred time. So wishing you so much love over this week. And I'll see you next time. I will mention, for those of you that are interested, I am teaching people how to read the Akashic Records. So I have some links below if you're interested. The final class is December 3rd through 5th to learn how to open your own Akashic Records. This is a live 3-day weekend with a follow-up in January. I teach this with a partner, and it is an amazing way to connect to the deeper parts of your soul. If that's something you're interested, I will have the links below. Any questions? let me know, and have a week filled with true connection to the source of who you are.